What's up, guys? It's your girl Elle, and I'm back with another YouTube video. It's been a while. I've decided that in my conquest for learning how to do YouTube, I'm only going to post when I truly feel inspired and called to post, and I totally trust my journey with that. So, if you're new here, I don't post very often. And if you're not new here, welcome back. It's your girl. I'm Elle. This is Inner Alchemy, where we talk all things inner transformation. So what I want to talk about today is largely coming from my own personal experience with my relationship and my polarity dynamics. Now, I'm not usually one to talk polarity. I actually think polarity is a big fucking joke. But I do want to dive in, and I do want to address a couple of things that have been coming through and showing up in my relationship and in my existence. And I know that this is a common problem. So I do want to preface and first talk about masculine and feminine principal energies and what that means, so that there's no confusion when watching this video, in confusion thinking I'm talking about gender. When I talk about masculine and feminine, I am specifically talking about principal energies. These are the same principal energies that we can find everywhere in life. So masculine and feminine has nothing to do with you being a man or a woman, male or female. It has nothing to do with gender. It is an energy, and it's energy that lives and resides in everything. So, for example, the masculine energy would be doing, action, intellect, organizing, containment, presence. It's also represented by the color white, hot as a temperature, the sun, up, the direction left. So these are all things associated with masculine principal energy, and things associated with feminine principal energy are going to be being, receiving, creativity, expression, intuition, death, rebirth, the color black, cold, the moon. I could make a whole video on this, and one day I probably will, because I've been dying to for years. But just to preface that for the video, I am talking about principal energies, not gender. But these principal energies live in everything. It lives in all that we do. So I'm definitely going to have to do a video on this, because I really don't feel like diving into that. But these principal energies reside and live within us. As a woman, a womb holder, I am predominantly a physical representation of feminine energy. And my counterpartner, my husband, is predominantly a physical representation of masculine energy. So when we take a look at relationship dynamics, and I'm speaking about this because I am currently still struggling with my own PCOS. And a part of the reason I'm still struggling with that is because I tend to lean into my masculine energy, this energy of doing, overgiving, taking responsibility for others, serving others, in this constant do, give energy. It's also this like energy that's afraid of life, afraid of everything, which is a woman's natural state. Women's nervous systems are predominantly constantly living in fear. This is why having men in our life is so vital, because they are to serve and protect us. So aside from that, when a woman is in this consistent and constant energy of doing and overgiving and nonstop go, she's just in that masculine energy. Our female reproductive organs take a hit. Our female hormones take a hit. Our energetics, our nervous system, it all takes a hit. And so I'm constantly seeing this pattern show up in my relationship, of me constantly overgiving, overdoing, and really overtaking responsibility. I'm taking the responsibility of everything in the household, everything that needs to be done. That energy can be overbearing for my partner, but then there's also a lack of initiative and leadership from my partner. He's constantly in his feminine energy. There's this consistent theme of just sitting back and receiving, being in the flow. Yeah, just really being in the flow, receiving, not really initiating, not really doing. It's this very being energy. It's a very feminine energy. And so What I'm realizing is that in men, in boys, mothers have this tendency to over mother, over nurture their boys, their husbands, right? It's like a mother is, oh, sweetie, let me cook you dinner. Let me do my baby boy's laundry. There's this like nurturing, this, let me tend to you, let me love you. There's this with our husbands as well. Oh, sweetie, let me cook you your dinner and serve it up for you. Let me do your laundry. Let me do all of these things. And look, there's nothing wrong with being a traditional housewife. I'll touch on that a little bit later. But the dynamics and the energies in the relationship need to be done a very particular way, and a woman cannot be working a job. And a woman also needs community for taking care of her children, because she will still burn out in an overgiving. Because if you watched my previous video on PCOS, the main thing there is mothering. Mothering is a very masculine tendency that women go into. And so this mothering takes place with our young boys. So for a lot of men who grew up in fatherless homes, there was a lot of over nurturing that went to the boys. Like I said, let mommy cook you dinner. Let mommy bring you your dinner. Let mommy clean your room. Let mommy do all of these things. And there was this tending to. Whereas if you were a woman growing up with a mother, whether it be a fatherless home or not, there was this tendency to, okay, sweetie, we've got to cook dinner for the boys. We got to cook dinner for daddy. We've got to do daddy's laundry. We got to do your laundry. We got to do this. We got to do that. And if you're hearing the language I'm using, it's do, do, do. Women are taught to serve other people. Women are taught to serve their husbands. Women are taught to serve their children. Women are taught to serve their community. Women are taught to serve, 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 serve. Do, 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 do. Give, 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 give. These are very at the core masculine energies. And what were men taught? To receive from their wives, to receive from their mothers, to receive, receive, receive. To be in receivership all of the time without taking initiative really puts a man in his feminine energy. And when this happens, it creates uncertainty within the woman. It creates uncertainty, unsafeness. There's not a sense of containment. There's not a sense of presence. There's not a sense of direction from her male partner, thus having her need to pick where they eat, pick what's for dinner, do all the making appointments for everybody, do all the laundry, do all the cooking, do all the cleaning. There's this constant do, do, do. And if a woman's not doing it, because men aren't taught how, then a woman is constantly doing everything. And she's in this consistent, constant doing, doing, doing energy, which is a very masculine energy. Women's nervous systems need to learn to receive. And that is very, very hard for most women because we were not taught that. When I take a look at the dynamics in my own relationship, there's a lot of me taking responsibility for the cooking of the dinners, the cleaning of the house, the making our plans for date night, planning when we sit down to plan our goals and our futures. There's a lot of leadership energy from me, a lot of do energy, a lot of initiate energy that I'm constantly always putting out and putting forth. And this continues to put my partner in his receivership. But this is where I get hung up, because if I'm not doing it, nobody is. And this is where a lot of wives and mothers have this issue. If she's not doing it, nobody is, and then nothing would get done. Life would cease to just come to a halt and everything would fall apart. That's a really scary position for women to be in because it's overwhelming. This is where men need to learn how to start taking initiative, taking leadership, doing things without being asked, to be present enough to pay attention to all of the things that need to be done to keep a household operating. And to do things without asking, to do things without being told, to just take initiative, to be in your masculine energy. Most men are not. Most men are used to being waited on by women, by their mothers. Most men have gotten used to being taken care of by their mothers, to be in this little boy energy of just receiving all of the time. Now, I want to say, Yes, men are allowed to receive. Yes, women are allowed to do things and take initiative. Yes. But when there is an imbalance of that in relationship dynamics, in family dynamics, when there's an imbalance of that, a woman's body becomes unbalanced. A man's body becomes unbalanced. And we can really see this in society. A lot of men these days have a very feminine look to them, right? They have very feminine features. Maybe a lot of them don't grow a lot of facial hair. Some of them might be a little shorter, slender, more slender in the face, softer features, thicker hair. And then on the other spectrum, we see a lot of really overweight men who have man breasts, who have big guts, who are balding and losing their hair. These are all signs of a man who's in his receivership, in his feminine, who's used to being doted on, used to being taken care of by a motherly figure. And because that is what he expects, because it's all that he's been taught, it is an energy that tugs on us as women because it is what we're taught as women from such a young age. It's to serve men, to serve our future husbands, to serve our fathers, to serve our brothers, to serve, serve, serve. And that is not the feminine way. Men are to serve women. They are to handle and take care of everything so that us as women can receive and multiply. It is our God-given gift and ability to receive what a man gives us, to receive what the masculine gives us, and to then multiply it for the family. These dynamics are very much so out of balance in most relationships. I see it in my own relationship. I, as a woman, am not in my power, where my power is to multiply, to take what my husband gives me and to multiply it. And I am not in that power because I'm the one who's doing all the time. And this is not his fault and it is not my fault. It is our conditioning. But in order for us to move forward, to be healthy, for my body to be clear and free of PCOS, for me to be free of this pattern, I have to consistently be aware of when I'm over mothering, where I'm over nurturing, where I'm over giving, where I'm overdoing. And ask myself, why do I feel uncomfortable receiving? Where can I sit back and be okay with maybe the house being a little bit messy, waiting for my partner to take that initiative? See, this is where women really need to learn to let go of control and neuroticism of needing to have a perfectly tidy home all of the time. This is where women just need to learn to let go of neuroticism and control in general. Because I do believe that the majority of men who want to step into their masculine, who want to participate in a healthy balance in relationship, when given the opportunity, will step into it. It may take them a moment. It may take them a little while. And this is where the work of the woman really needs to be done. This is where a woman needs to just rest in knowing that the thing she wants done is not going to be done in her time and on her watch. But if you want your partner to step into their masculine energy, you have to give them the opportunity to do so and not rush them in their process, because as difficult it is for you to receive and to let control go as a woman, it's just as difficult for them to learn to do these things. They were never taught. This is where we have to have compassion for our men in our life, whether they're a husband, a partner, a father, a son. This is not giving them a free pass, but this is having compassion for something that they've never been taught. And it may seem like common sense to us, and it may seem like common sense to the world, but most men were babied and nurtured by their mothers because most men grew up in fatherless homes. And I want to tell you guys that all of this is by design. This whole structure of women serving men started about 2,000 years ago when religion and Christianity and all of these things took over, and when the church realized how powerful men and women were when they were working in their proper polarities, working in balance and union together. It wasn't always the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. It was the father, mother, and child. The mother was this strong, powerful being who was able to produce a lot for her family through her ability to multiply. There was a very cohesive and balanced and beautiful relationship with men and women at one point in our history. Religion realized how much power the household has, how much power is there when men and women work together. And so they've created standards and rules in a book about women serving their men and women doing this and men doing that, and created these gender roles. And these gender roles have kept us disempowered for a very long time, have kept us separate as husband and wife, have kept us separate as man and woman, because if we were to come together in true union and true balance, we would be so powerful, so sovereign, that the higher forces that may be that rule and control everything wouldn't have power over us. We would be free people, and we are free people. And so there is this real need right now for men to consciously choose to learn to start stepping into their masculine power. And there's a real need on the planet right now for women to learn to let go of control and to learn to receive and step into their feminine power, to allow men to do their job as the service givers, as the providers, the doers, the givers. And for us women to sit back and just to be in our playful nature and our receiving nature, so that we can multiply whatever it is our man has to give to us or our partner has to give to us. You give a woman a house, she'll give you a home. You give her ingredients, she'll give you a meal. You give her sperm, she will give you a child. You also give her heck, and she'll give you fucking hell. You give her shit, and she'll throw it right back tenfold. It is our God-given gift as women to multiply as we receive. But when we're constantly doing and overgiving and overachieving and overdoing just life in general, you get the point. We are not in our power. Our bodies are wrecked and destroyed. We're overstressed. We're overburdened. We have illness and disease in our wombs, our ovaries, our breasts. This is because we are not in our feminine essence of being, creativity, expression, intuition, moving through our cycles of death and rebirth. For us as women to be healthy in our bodies, we need to be in our feminine energy. And this requires a lot of work of letting go of control, learning to trust. And in order for us to trust our men, trust our partners, we first must learn to trust ourselves so that we can trust our discernment. If we cannot trust our discernment, we will not be able to trust our future partners. We will not be able to trust anything because we do not trust ourselves. So there is some work that us as women need to do, and it's about learning to trust ourselves. And in order to do that, we must first take control of the way in which we think, feel, act, and be. We must do that inner work to see ourselves clearly, to stop pointing the finger at everything and everyone else, because it is not just men's fault. It is our fault as a collective that we are where we're at. It is our ancestors' fault. It is just a part of this human journey. And in order for us to all thrive, we all have to start taking a look at our shit. And our shit is wrapped up in thousands of years of generational ancestral patterning. And it is our responsibility as the new generations to become aware of that and to break that, to be chain breakers. If you want a thriving body, a thriving life, thriving health, abundance, wealth, happiness, joy, then you need to start getting honest about your contribution to yourself and to life and your external world. We need to start learning to work in unison with men. We need to start having sisterhood, true sisterhood. This all goes so deep, you guys. None of us are operating from our power right now, and it is time for us to start operating in our power. And in order to do that, we need to start looking at ourselves. So this video is a little all over the place. There was a lot in here, but I'm just flowing with it. And I trust that this message that is coming through me right now is the right message. Although at times it's been black and white and maybe not clear and a little repetitive, I do in this moment trust that the right person will receive this message. And I can only hope that these messages will want to come through in other videos so that there is a shape and clarity that begins to form. I can feel that this channel is coming to an end, so this is where I will end the video. For those who received this video, thank you. For those who this did not resonate with, if you've made it this far, thank you for taking the time to watch all the way through. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Anyway, guys, I'm out.